Hello, everyone. Welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs. You don't have to spend a lot of time for it to taste like $1,000,000. Specs experts can help you find the perfect bottle for any budget. Visit specsonline.com for a ton of recipes handpicked by the Specs mixology experts themselves. I guarantee you we have some mixologists in this office, maybe even in this studio. Not me, by the way. All right, we're in the Rollo Insurance studio, by the way. Nick, favorite part of the show?
Probably Kendall Rogers, talking a little Aggie baseball.
Okay. Thought he was good too. Kaylee?
I also like Kendall Rogers and all the good he had to say about Aggie baseball.
Okay, you can't second.
Okay, I also really liked Coach Ford.
Okay, see, that answer I appreciate. You know what's interesting, guys? I've been doing this at TexAgs for 4 years. We started the Rewind, I think, if not day 1, day 2. Nobody ever says David Nuno. It's never the host.
That's definitely not true. I said David Nuno like a month ago.
Did you?
Yes, I vividly remember it.
Okay, by the way,
so you're just fishing for compliments right now. Is what you're doing.
Maybe I don't have to tweet and post to get my likes and you know what I have? I get virtual hugs from my family. All right, they're not even virtual; they're real hugs. Anyway, I actually wasn't very good today, but Recruiting Country was really good. Jason Howell, he shined. Bronny wishes he could have had that performance today. Trisha Ford, she shined. OB, pretty good. He was upset. He was disappointed. And Kendall Rogers, I already told you that. Doesn't matter. It's the Rewind. Check it. But if A&M's going to have a disastrous type of game, it had a lot of the same themes we have seen when they have bad outings. Long stretches without scoring, not getting to the line, which is one of the things that they do so well. The storylines of teams that aren't good at something being good at something, like free throws. Mississippi State was good with their free throws.
Yeah, they're very good.
What A&M routinely does, we had a whole segment on it yesterday of stopping, when they're good, the top scorer on that team. That didn't happen yesterday. When I walked into the office today, I was like, what a terrible second half. You're like, no, it started before the second half.
Yeah, this is how bad they were offensively. With 4:47 left in the first half, C.J. Wilcher made 2 of 3 free throws to give A&M a 29-24 lead. 4:47. For the rest of the half, almost 5 minutes, they get a layup from Henry Coleman. That's it. And they take a 31-30 lead. Another kind of remind me of Kentucky.
Right.
When first half, Kentucky's struggling with its shot, and you're not able to get separation. So that's almost 5 minutes you go scoring 2 points. And then you open the second half, and you get a Wade Taylor three-pointer with 17:15 to go. But that's it for the first 9.5 minutes. So you go almost 15 minutes.
That's a half.
This is a college basketball team, number 7 in the country, goes 15 minutes and scores 5 points.
You're not going to win any games doing that.
Probably not. And yet, despite all that, they're within 4 points
with 6 minutes?
9:35. 9:04. They got within 4, but again, it's 46-42 after a couple of Anderson Garcia free throws. So I'm thinking they're in pretty good shape here.
This is where they shine.
They played horrifically, and they're only down 4. But they don't score again until they get a couple of free throws at 5:44.
On Sunday against Charlotte, you were able to sit Coco, Max, some girls, get some younger girls in there. Just what did you see from them? And then how do you think the dynamic between those veterans sitting and then also getting your rookies in has helped the team so far?
Yeah, I think especially at the catching and shortstop position, they've just done a tremendous job. Coco is KK's biggest fan, and I think it says a lot for KK to come in and kind of, be able to fit in and really the team enjoys her. She's going to be our shortstop of the future. Obviously, I'm going to be really bummed when we lose Coco.
Yeah.
I thought KK did a great job. Amari came in and, she was kind of our jack of all trades, played some first base, second base. Obviously, played some right field for us early on in the year. And Dee Baldwin got her first start and had a 2 RBI hit, picked the kid off at second base. I don't know if you really draw it up any better than that. So it's just, kind kind of that next player up mentality. And I think our veterans have done a really good job of kind of pushing them along.
Couple games in a row, Sydney has looked really, really nice.
Yeah, lesson team. Yeah, she's done well. And so
that's a broadcaster trick, right? Like
Okay.
if you think you know how to pronounce the last name, you just go first name.
Well, there's two Sydneys, too.
Yeah, well, this is true. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
But you say the first name, and then you're like, okay, I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, no, yes. But she's done a really good job. I feel like she's starting to understand some things. Our 0-2-1-2 pitches, her and I had some discussions about just cleaning those up a little bit. But for a freshman, I mean, she pitched against Wichita State, which is a really, again, a postseason team every year. I thought she did a tremendous job. Her changeup was working for her. So, and then it was good. I got to spend some time with her even in the dugout this past weekend when we were on offense and just talking the game. So I think those moments are going to really help her, moving forward.
2026 defensive lineman Jermaine Kinsler. But what's the latest there?
Yeah, committed to Texas A&M last week. Big 6'6.5", 265-pound, multi-sport, multi-faceted weapon for one of the top programs in the Northeast and the country, for that matter, Bergen Catholic. They've had an All-American, I think, for the last 10 years, the last decade. They're a perennial contender for the state championship in New Jersey. But anyways, commits to Texas A&M and as a defensive lineman, is being pursued as a defensive end, defensive tackle, brings a big body presence to the defensive front, real athletic, high upside prospect. We talked to his coach, Coach Campanelli, and he just said it, man. He laid it all out. This guy is exciting. He walks through the door. He blocks out the door frame, tremendous length, and he's a guy that competes on the basketball court. So you get to see a lot of raw athleticism there, and he's really just scratching the surface on the football front, where they utilize him, especially on the defensive line. His length is just such a problem. He comes off the ball low and strong, and is a guy that's just a real disruptive force, whether it's on the inside as an interior pass rusher, or on the outside where he's holding the edge and doing some things kind of like you see. And I'm not going to say he's going to be Shamar Stewart, but he has that ability on the outside where you see him holding that edge and opening things up even for others to make plays, and just brings a real versatile skill set to the table up front.
Can you give us other examples of maybe highly ranked teams that had kind of similar vibes for their program?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you looked at the weekend, I mean, Virginia, they lost one game and went 2-1. Texas went 2-1. People were flipping out after the opening game of the year. They got walked off in the, extra innings. So things like that happen. I mean, there are some instances where I think you can overreact a little bit. And I think you look at like Tennessee, for instance, they've scored 75 runs in their first 4 games, but they've also played Hofstra, who was picked at the very bottom of the CAA, and they played UNC Asheville on Tuesday. So I just think it's very important to tap the brakes on any sort of generalizations. Obviously the people were a little concerned about some of the bullpen pieces for A&M this past weekend. But again, when it comes to baseball, I am all about trends. And, are some of the guys that struggled over the weekend guys that in 2 weeks are still struggling? If they're struggling, at the Astros tournament, then I'm kind of like, okay, maybe some roles need to shift here. But I mean, I think Early said it on Sunday after the game, if I'm not mistaken. But they kind of gave guys longer leashes than they usually would. They kind of put some guys in roles that maybe against LSU in conference play they would be putting those guys in that role. So that's what you use early in the season for, to tinker around a little bit.
How about TK2? Terrence Kiel the second. Just what a nice weekend to get things started.
No doubt. I mean, I always love seeing a Kiel do well as a Lufkinite. I always loved Terrence Kiel back in the day, playing football for the Panthers. Obviously, did great for the Aggies. So seeing this kid doing what he did is pretty impressive. The thing about him that's fun is, at the end of the fall, Mike is telling me that, look, this guy's going to be really good, but I don't know where we're going to put him. Well, he's given them a situation where they're going to have to put him somewhere. He's got speed. He's got pop. He's versatile. We see the energy he plays with. Just a A+ confidence guy. So what's going to happen here is it could be a situation to where Mike has some really difficult decisions to make going into conference play, because we're all going to assume Cade and Sorrell get healthy, and Sorrell should be in the lineup. Well, Sorrell's going to be in the lineup, and all the other guys are going to be in the lineup. Where do you put TK? So that's a good problem to have. It's something that if you're Mike Early, you're probably glad you don't have to make that decision for another 3 or 4 weeks. But certainly a very, very loud opening weekend. And again, a guy that can make a lot of things happen for that A&M offense.
I had this awesome toss to Kaylee a minute ago, and then we had to redo it because Nick was sleeping. Kaylee, I want you to tell the people what to do. But in doing so, I want you to give the why. Not why Rollo Insurance. I want you to give them the why they need to and
Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because you should share TexAgs to your friends.
But that's not a because. A because is it helps the algorithm. It helps us. It helps us grow as a brand.
TexAgs.
And it makes us feel like we're worth something. And golly gee darn it, you're worth something. I always make it awkward. We'll see you next time.